today's class where we will focus on back bends for wheel pose. I'm very excited to share this session with you. And just so you know, you will need one block and you will need a strap for this work. Now, if you don't have a block and a strap, grab a really thick book and grab a very long towel. And this will also work, or a resistance band. All right, so let's come to the center of your yoga mat for centering, and bring your hands down on your knees once you find yourself in a cross-legged position, and go ahead and close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in, and exhale. And again, take a nice deep breath in, fill up your lungs all the way to the top, and then exhale every last bit out. And you get one more deep breath. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale. Press your sits bones down into the floor. Lift your ribs up away from your hips. Notice that your sternum is pulled slightly forward, and also notice where your head is in space. If it's forward, it's very normal in our society to have your head forward, but work today to bring your head directly over your heart and see how that automatically shifts your energy into something completely different. Bring your chin down to your chest and feel the back of the neck stretch. Circle your head over to the left so that the left ear is stacked over the left shoulder. Bring your left arm up over to the right side of the head and extend your right arm out, down, and away from you at this nice 45-degree angle. Never allowing the fingertips to come to the mat, but instead stretching beyond so that there's always somewhere to go. And then bring your hands back down to your knees and circle the chin back to the chest. And let's move this over now to the right. Right ear stacked over the right shoulder. Bring your right arm up over to the left side of the head and extend your left arm out, down, and away from you. Just noticing what the stretches bring to you. If you feel sore, tense through the neck. Very normal. Maybe one side is a little bit more tender than the other. And then bring your hands back down to your knees and circle the chin back to the chest. Lift your head up and open up your eyes if they were closed. Go ahead and grab your strap. We're going to do some shoulder flossing. So open up your strap and grab it with your palms down. And the strap is always taut and the elbows are straight. So we're never bending elbows to force anything to happen. If this is really tough for you to do, the hands are just gonna slide on the strap. And that's totally fine. All right, but you do want to feel some resistance through your shoulders as you do this. I like to start, what always works for me is I line my hands up with where my knees are in this position, and that's a good starting place for me. So we've got 5 of these. Keeping your shoulders directly over your hips, lift your arms up, squeeze the arms into the ears, and then come all the way back. And then, nice and even, come forward. Again, come on up, and come back, open it up the shoulders, and again, lift it up. And back. Notice if you lean forward, you can walk maybe 1 finger length distance in just a little bit if things are starting to open up. And then on this final one, we're gonna do some pulses. So come up and over, and right where you feel the most resistance. Keep your shoulders over your hips. I want to come over here too, don't do it. And then pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop it back. And then come on up, and right where you feel that resistance really mount, stay right there and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome, good. Come on out. You can take the strap, that's all we're gonna use it for today, and bring it to the side. All right, from here, we're gonna start moving. So we're gonna start with a spine twist on the left side. So your right knee is down and under, and the left leg comes up and over the right thigh. Bring your left knee all the way into the chest, and then sit up as tall as you can, because the straighter the spine, the better your twists. Bring your left hand behind you for support. The right arm comes up and over and turn and twist over your left shoulder. Chest up, stomach in. If you'd like to go for a bind, bring your right arm underneath your left thigh, and then the left arm comes back for a grab. Make sure you keep lifting chest up and turn and twist over left shoulder. Good. From here, come out of this, extend your left leg all the way out to the side. Take your right leg and bring it into a half hero so that the right heel is on the outside of the right hip. And spread your knees as far apart as you can. Sweep your arms up. It's as if you're holding this huge cement ball over your head. Press your shoulders down away from your ears. Revolve Dhanurasana number 2. Come up and over your left leg. Squeeze the arms into the ears. Pull the left shoulder forward. Stretch through your right hand fingertips to move the right ribs away from the hips. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop your left forearm to the mat. Continue to stretch your right hand fingertips towards your left foot. If the foot is directly underneath your hand, grab the outer edge of the foot. If it's not, it's nowhere near, you're going to keep stretching towards that foot. But if you have the grip, go ahead and grab the foot and turn and twist into this. Then use your right arm to pull you up out of this. Let's bring the knees closer together, keeping the right leg in your half hero. And we're going to come down to a reclined half hero. If your hips feel like they're not centered, do what you can to center them. You can stay up on your hands if this is causing a lot of tension through the quad or the knee. Then try to come down to the elbows, see how that feels. And then if you're feeling very open at this point, you can come all the way down to your shoulders. Make sure that the ribs are always pulled up away from the hips so that we're not ramming into the low spine at all in this position. I'm super okay with this right knee floating as long as there's no pain. Let's hold here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. From here, everyone meet on your elbows. If you're on your hands, you can stay there. And I want you to touch your low spine and notice this natural curvature of the spine. From here, we're going to tuck the pelvis so that there's no longer that curve. And hold for 3, 2, 1, and then release it. And let's do that again. Go ahead and tuck your pelvis, press right knee into the mat, hold for 3, 2, 1, and release, and 1 more of these. Go ahead, tuck the pelvis under, hold, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. From here, plant your left foot flat to the mat, come up onto your hands, fingertips face you, and then press up so you're in a half hero table. The right knee is on the floor. Press your feet into the floor to lift your hips higher. If you'd like to take this further, press the top of the right foot into the mat and float your right knee. Let's hold here 4, 3, hips higher, 2, and 1. Bring your chin into your chest and come all the way up out of this. From here, let's rock onto our knees. Knees are hip width distance, and then we're going to bring the big toes to touch because we haven't done a lot of bending yet. We're going to do a reverse prayer camel. So bring the arms up, hands palms together, and drop your thumb to the nape of the neck. Spread your elbows wide for this. Notice how when I did that, the ribs pulled forward because the shoulder blades pulled together. Look up, and then press your hips forward. Press your hands into your wrists. Roll your eyes past your eyebrows. This doesn't have to be a big, deep bend at this point. Let's hold. Breathe into it. Small sips of air. And then, come back out of that. Let's do all of this again on the other side. So now we're going to start with a spine twist. And this time, let's turn this way. I was turning the right way. Bring your left knee down and forward, and the right leg up and over. Bring the right knee all the way to your chest, sit up tall. Right hand comes behind you for support, and left arm comes up and over your right leg. If you'd like that bind, the left arm comes underneath the right thigh, and right arm comes back for the grab. Really normal if you go for the bind for that chest to collapse. Please sit up as tall as you can and twist. Untwist yourself. Revolve Dhanurasana number 2. Right leg out to the side this time. Half hero your left leg. Spread the knees wide apart. Sweep the arms up. Press shoulders down away from your ears. Come up and over your right leg. Squeeze the arms into the ears. Elbows are straight. Stretch through your fingertips. Move left ribs away from the left hips. This is building some heat in your body. I hope you're starting to feel that. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop your right forearm to the floor. Continue to stretch your left hand fingertips towards your right foot. If the foot is directly underneath the hand, go ahead and grab the outer edge of the foot and pull a little deeper into it. If the foot and hand are not connected yet, continue to work towards that goal of the posture. Pull the right shoulder forward, and the left shoulder back. Use your left arm to help you out of this. Bring your knees closer to touch for our half hero work. So stay in your hands, come down to your elbows, or come all the way down to the shoulders. If your hips feel weird, they're weird, so even them out, do what you can and adjust yourself. Let's be here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, meet me on your elbows. You can stay on your hands. Notice that natural curvature of the low spine, and then let's work to straighten it out. So you can even keep your hands here so you can feel it. Tuck your pelvis and hold for 3, 2, 1. Release it. Again, tuck your pelvis, stomach in, hold 3, 2, 1. And 1 more. Here we go. Tuck pelvis, hold for 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Come all the way up. Get your hands to the mat, fingers facing you. Right foot flat. Press up to half hero table. Look back. Use your right foot. Press it firmly into the floor. Lift your hips a little higher. Then if you'd like to take it further, press top of the left foot down into the mat. Keep pulling ribs up away from the hips. You're here. In this nice breath, can you lift up higher? Where does this speak to you? Breathe into it. Then bring your chin to your chest. Oh yeah, and come all the way down to the floor. Untuck your left foot toes. Get your heels close to your seat. Grab your ankles for some bridge work. Fold your shoulder blades into each other. Ribs are already off your yoga mat. Take a breath in and lift your hips up for your bridge. Interlace your fingers and press your pinky finger and tricep down to the mat underneath your seat. Lift your hips up. You're here for 4. Squeeze your knees in. 3, 2, 1. Toe heel your feet into your center line. One-legged bridge. Left knee into the chest. Left leg comes up and over the head. You're here for 4. Point your toes. 3, 2, and 1. Bring your left foot to the center line. Right knee into the chest. Right leg comes up and over the head. Hold for 3, 2, 2.5, 1. Bring your right foot down. Walk the feet out. Once again, find your bridge. Pull the ribs up away from the hips. Lift the hips higher. Hold for another 4 count. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Release your hips to the floor. Let's get into a little standing series work. Grab the back of your thighs. Cross your ankles. Rock onto your knees. And then hands to the mat and meet me in a downward facing dog. Wrap your elbows to the floor. Let your head hang. I'm gonna walk my down dog a little further away from the wall here. All right, we're gonna start with our left leg, moving into a wild thing pose. Bring the left leg up into the air. Bend the left knee as if you're kicking yourself. Point your left foot toes to the right side of the room. Drop your left foot toes to the outside of the right leg. Extend your right knee, and left arm comes up and over the head. Look for your left hand. Stretch your left ribs away from your left hip. Then look down at your right hand, left hand down, and left leg comes up into the air. Stomach in, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee as if you're kicking yourself. Look forward. Step your left foot forward. Right heel lifts off the floor in the air for a crescent lunge. Bring the arms up. Interlace your fingers. Release index fingers, thumbs crossed. Look up. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, move your arms over the face and back bend. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Elbows are straight, palms together. If you're feeling wobbly, bring your hips lower to the floor and back bend. Nice job. Good. From here, flatten your back foot and meet me in a warrior two position, looking over your left hand fingertips. Shoulders are stacked over the hips, and your core is engaged. Lift your left heel off the mat. Hold here for 4. Contract your right thigh more. 3, 2, 1. Drop your left heel down. Right hand comes to the outside of the right thigh. Left arm sweeps up and over, reverse warrior. Look up at the ceiling. Stretch through your left hand fingertips. Sink your hips a little lower. Side angle, left hand comes down to the outside of the left foot. Lunge into your left leg, right arm sweeps up and over. Pull your right ribs away from your right hip. Good. From here, move into your half moon. So left hand is down to the mat, right arm reaches up, pull the left shoulder forward and the right shoulder back. Bend your right knee. Once you have the balance, bring your knee close to you. Grab the outside of the right ankle for a half moon back bend. Kick the right foot into your hand. Hold for 4. Relax your right shoulder more. 3, 2, and 1. Release the foot. Both fingertips down to the mat on either side of your left foot. Right leg comes up into the air for your vertical split. Stretch through your right knee. Bring your leg higher. Breathe through what you go through here. You're doing fantastic with all of it. Then drop your right foot down and your right knee down to the floor for a little crescent lunge work. So from here, interlace your fingers, bring it to the top of your left thigh. Press your hips down and forward. Tuck your right foot toes under. Bring your arms up. Interlace fingers, release index fingers, thumbs crossed. Look up at the ceiling. Stretch up, move into a slight back bend. Stay in your slight back bend, keeping right foot toes tucked under. Lift your right knee up, off the floor, and then bring it back down. Back bend. Again, knee up. And knee down. It's okay to feel wobbly. I'm a little wobbly today. And again, knee up and knee down. Now, untuck the toes. Go all the way back. As far back as gravity allows you. Press hips down and forward. Elbows locked, palms together. Stay for 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Come all the way up. You did so good with that. Bring your hands to the mat. Left hand on the inside of the left foot. Tuck right foot toes under. Let's go back to downward facing dog. Stomach in. Move to a plank. Chaturanga down. And from here, bow pose. Now, for this bow pose, I'm centering myself in the middle of the mat. Make sure you have room on both sides of you. So if you're very close to a wall, maybe rethink this or just decide to stay in a regular bow pose for this sequence and try this some other time. So bow, we're gonna start with Dhanurasana. Grab your feet from the outside. Thumb right next to your index finger. Take a breath in. Exhale, kick back and kick up. Move the head over the heart, lift the knees higher. Breathe through. Now we're gonna go to a side bow. So we're gonna go to our left side. Keeping that kick in the hands. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Let's stay here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Come back to bow. And then we're gonna do this over on the right. So come to the right. Notice how my feet are still kicking away from my hips. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Come back to bow. And then come on out. Relax your feet. Bring your hands underneath your chin. Bend your knees. And then windshield wiper the shins back and forth. We have another side to do. Woo! It's gonna be so fun. All right, starting with our down dog. So feet to the floor, hands underneath your shoulders. Press up to a downward facing dog. You know what this is, yes? So it's going to be great. You already know what's happening. We just have to even out the sides. Start with a wild thing. Right leg lifts up. Bend the right knee as if you're kicking yourself. Drop your right foot to the floor outside the left leg. Right arm comes up and over the head. Pull the ribs away from the hips. Look for your right hand fingertips. Then look down at your left hand. Right hand comes to meet it. Meet me in a 3-legged dog. Bend your right knee as if you're kicking yourself. Look forward. Step your right foot through. Left heel lifts off the floor in the air for your crescent lunge. Arms over the head. Interlace fingers, release index fingers, thumbs crossed. Stretch up, inhale. And go back on your exhale. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Lots of tension right below the shoulder blades through your thoracic spine. Sink hips a little lower. And back bend. Woo! Then come out of this, flatten your left foot to the floor for your warrior 2. And let me turn so we can stay connected. All right, so warrior 2, look over right hand fingertips. Make sure that that's not happening for you, that your shoulders are right over the hips. As you can see, my core is super engaged right now. Then from here, lift your right heel up. Contract your left thigh more. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Right heel down, left hand to the outside of the left thigh. Sweep the right arm up and over for your reverse warrior. Stretch through the right side body. Sink your hips a little lower. Slide left hand down the left thigh. Moving to your side angle. Right hand comes down to the outside of the right foot. Sweep your left arm up and over. Stretch through your fingertips. Find your breath. Then left arm up in the air. Little cleaner transition this time for your half moon. Right hand comes to the floor. Left leg up in the air. Pull the right shoulder forward and left shoulder back. Once you have the balance moving to your half moon back bend, bend your left knee. Grab your left foot and kick into the hand. Relax your left shoulder more. Hold for 4. It's a long hold. 3, 2, 1. Go into a vertical split. Left hand down to the mat. Look at your right foot, left leg all the way up into the air. Bring your body down and left leg up. Find your breath here. You're doing so good. You're almost back on 2 legs, building some stability, stamina in the posture. Then step your left foot all the way back, left knee down. Keep your left foot toes tucked under for our low lunge, crescent lunge work. Interlace your fingers. Bring it to the top of your right thigh. Press your hips down and forward. Bring the arms up. Interlace fingers, release index fingers, thumbs crossed. Look up. Inhale, stretch up, go into a slight back bend. This does not have to be big. Then from here, lift your left knee up and slowly bring it back down. Again, knee up. And knee down. One more. Knee up. And knee down. Good. Then go all the way back. Hips down and forward. Stay with the breath. You can untuck the toes. Elbows lock, palms together. Woof. And then, woo, come on up. You did awesome with all of that. So hopefully you're feeling warm enough. We are now going to move to the wall. So hopefully you have a wall that you can work on. If not, just find a blank spot somewhere in your home where you can do the rest of this class. So we'll move to the wall now to do some more wheel work. Let's get to it. All right, now we are really digging in. The first thing we're gonna do is what I call a straight-armed wall walk. And this is gonna help to open up your shoulders and your thoracic spine for better mobility in your wheel pose. We're gonna start 1 arm's length distance away from your wall. Turn away from the wall. The feet are hip width distance apart, maybe a little wider, but not too much wider than that. From here, bring your hands to your ribs, fingers forward, thumbs outside. Pull your elbows back. Press your ribs forward, look up at the ceiling. Press your hips forward, look at the wall. Bring your hands to the wall and get your wrists in line with your shoulders. Now, I'm a little too close to the wall, but I still have feet, so you can walk away while you're here. Straighten the legs, contract your quads, lock out your elbows. You're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Come on out, and if you'd like, step right to the wall and come into a yogi squat. So it's good to take breaks in between back bends if needed, so that we don't start targeting just one part of the spine, which is normally that low spine. So this back bend especially very thoracic work heavy. If you can't get the wrists in line with the shoulders, don't worry, keep working on it and it will happen. Now we're gonna do 3 wall walks to wheel. Let me explain. For a wall walk, you're gonna start exactly the way we did. You are allowed to bend the elbows and the knees now to get down there. You'll be 1 arm's length distance away. If you're new to this at all, go as deep as you feel is necessary for you. There's no need to, take this too far. If you stop breathing, that is a big signal that you've gone far enough. So small sips of air here. So for a wall walk, same setup as we did for the straight arm wall walk, except now we're gonna go as far down as we can. If as far down as you can is like here, that's super cool. Then just walk back up. But if you can, coming down eventually all the way down the wheel, and then wherever you are, come back up. We're gonna do 2 more. Do it with me, because the difference, the time that it takes people to do wall walks between the first wall walk and the second wall walk, sometimes can be like 20 minutes, the delay. So stay with me. Hands to the ribs, elbows back, let's go. Take a breath in, ribs up, hands to the wall, walk down the wall. Remember to breathe. It does not mean anything if you make it to the floor or not. Come back up, take a breath in, tell yourself you're doing something awesome today, and then let's do our last one. Here we go. Woo! From here, come on up. And come down to your wheel or as close as you can to it. And then come back up. Awesome. Step to your wall. Come into your yogi squat. Reset your spine. We're going to move back to the middle of the mat. We'll be pushing up to wheel from here and then doing some exercises to get you a little deeper into wheel. If you have a drop back into wheel, go ahead and do your drop back. All right, so always if you have the drop back, you're going to do it, meaning you're in a standing position and then come into wheel. But since I am teaching all levels right now, I always choose to push up in those instances so that we can all stay on the same page. All right, I'll see you in the middle of your mat in just a second. Okay, this is what you've been working for to get the body ready enough to come down, to press up into a wheel pose or to drop back in that if that's your preference. And to do some really great work to get your wheel to feel just absolutely great in your body. So come to the middle of your yoga mat, and just like we did for bridge, lay down on your back. Get your heels super close to your seat. Listen to me carefully, one step at a time. Fold your shoulder blades into each other. You should feel your ribs already pulling off your yoga mat. From here, set your hands on either side of your ears, thumb towards your ear, fingers out. Remember that you must use your legs to press up to wheel. Let me say it again. You must use your legs to press up to wheel. If you just use your arms, it's gonna be so hard, especially in this flipped position with your hands. All right, so remember that you still have feet. So take a nice deep breath in, chin away from the chest. Roll your eyes past your eyebrows as if you're already looking for the mat. Take that breath in, and on your exhale, use your feet, use your hands, press straight up into the wheel. Good. From here, this doesn't have to be your best wheel. I'm pretty sure this isn't mine yet. Good. If your feet are super turned out, turn your toes in a little bit. Lift your hips even higher and pull your chest through your arms. Then look up at the ceiling and come down. Awesome. Good stuff. From here, bring your knees to your chest. Just reset the spine. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is the same thing. So if you didn't make it up to wheel, just work to press up to wheel. All right, but we're going to take it a little further for this if you are getting into wheel. So this is what I call wheel sway. So we're going to be swaying back and forth while we're in the wheel position. If you want to watch and then pause it and do it, you are welcome to do that. All right, so set yourself up for your wheel. Your feet are close to your hips. Set your hands, thumb towards your ear, fingers towards your shoulders. Fold shoulder blades in. Ribs are off the mat. Chin away from the chest. Look for your mat. Take a breath in. And press up to wheel. Now, you can walk your hands and your feet in if you feel like you can have a tighter, deeper bend. And then gently sway forward and back. We're getting into that thoracic spine. Forward and back. And we're working to stack shoulders over wrists. Forward and back and forward. I always know my shoulders and wrists are stacked because I can no longer see my hands when I look for them. Then look up, and come down and bring your knees to your chest. You're doing great. Just one more wheel, and then I'm going to unwind you, and you're gonna feel so good, like you did something awesome for yourself today. Imagine so many people in the world, and very few of them hear the call of yoga, but you heard it today and you decided to make it this far into this, more intermediate advanced class. Way to go. All right, one more wheel. This one is a wheel push-up. You might want to watch this as a demo and then pause and do it. All right, so same thing. You're going to take your breath, press up to wheel. If you're not pressing up to wheel, this is your third shot at it. So keep working for that. All right, if you're a little bit further in your practice, we're going to do wheel push-ups. So finding your good wheel, and then you're going to bring your forehead to the mat as close to your seat as you can, and then press straight forward as you come out, just like those sways. So head down, and then press chest forward, and head down, and press chest forward. So let's do 3 reps today, and then come on down. Oh yes, and bring your knees into your chest. Awesome job. You're done bending. From here, let's do some windshield wipers. Once again, so feet to the floor, and then just bring one knee into the center and then the other. Just massaging out the low spine a little bit, getting a little mini twist to reset your energy. Nice. And just slowly, slowly easing the body back from where it came. So if you ever take a full-blown class with me, this is probably about a half class of what I normally teach. But if you come join me over in my online yoga studio, we always take you back and rebalance the body at the end. So if we have a very deep back bending class, know that you're not going to walk out feeling beat up because I unwind you. Let's meet in a dead bug pose, ankles right over the hips. From here, arms out in a T. Let me scoot a little bit closer to you. Arms out in a T for control, palms down, and just slowly drop your legs to the floor for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up to dead bug pose. Let's do that again. Come down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up. 2 more. Slowly drop down. 4, 3. Keep your ribs down. 2, 1, and up. And last one. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Good. Now from here, moving into our final twist. Let's do it in an eagle leg. So bring your right foot to your center line. Left leg crosses up and over your right leg. And then walk your right foot to the left and your hip a little bit. And bring the legs all the way over to the right. And then look for your left hand. If this is too much for your neck, then look up at the ceiling. And in an eagle leg, if the foot is starting to hook behind the calf muscle, awesome, but do not struggle to do it. But you'll notice that this shoulder has a harder time coming down to the floor. So deepening the twist by pressing left shoulder into your floor a little bit more. Then let's switch it out, come out of this, square off your hips so they're directly underneath your shoulders. This time the left foot comes to your center line and the right leg crosses up and over. Walk your left foot and your hip 2 inches to the right and then knees go to the left and shin goes to the right. Actively working to bring your right shoulder to your floor. Whenever you do deep back bends, it's very important to slowly ease out of the bend and into some forward bending and to twist the spine. So back bends rev your energy, forward bends slow your energy down, and twists of any kind will neutralize your energy. So it's really important after revving your energy for the time that we've spent together in these back bends that we take some time to slow it down and neutralize it. Come out of this for an active recovery, so get your feet flat, hip width distance, and let your knees come into your center line. And the activation here is getting your whole spine flat to the mat. Take your hands, the palms meet your ribs, pull the ribs manually together and interlace your fingers. Look down your center line. Notice how you can't overwork the glutes or your piriformis because they are shut off in this position. And then using a little internal hip rotation as well. So good for you. And then from here you have your final savasana. So bring your arms down to the side body. Extend one leg down and then the other. Allow the feet to fall apart. You can open up the legs or the arms. Close your eyes. Fold your shoulder blades into each other. Neck is long and pull your ribs all the way down to your yoga mat. Stay here as long as you need. So fun to share this class and this session with you. And make sure to come back often and check out all the content that I have available to you. Or if you are looking for an online yoga space to advance your yoga practice and you are a woman over 40, then come join me in my online yoga studio. We have the best time over there, such an amazing community, and it's where your yoga practice will really take off. I hope to see you there soon. Have a good one.